Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a stallion on the ice. Mm-hmm. A man who has single-handedly reinvigorated a fandom in one fan who's been with a franchise since the very beginning.
That's right.
I believe he's from Massachusetts. He went to Boston University.
Oh, yeah.
Played for Buffalo for a while.
What?
And he got traded to Sin City, where he is a Vegas Golden Knight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Aces, Jack Eichel.
Yeah! Jackie!
What's up, dude?
What's going on? Thanks for having me on the show.
Dude, thank you for joining us. I assume your life as an NHL player is so busy in the middle of season with how many fucking games you guys have, especially now with the playoffs around the corner. How's the body? How do we feel, Jackie Aces?
I feel good, yeah. We got one regular season game left, and then, playoff starts early next week, so just trying to rest up and get ready for that.
Is the entire mindset of, the whole league pretty much now going into playoffs much better because the Penguins didn't make it in to the playoffs? Do you think that is like last night after seeing the fucking Penguins lose a must-win game to a team that's trying to lose, okay?
Yikes.
At home by 3, all right?
3?
Last night when you go to bed, you go, well, the Penguins aren't going to be in the playoffs. Thank God that happened. Is that what happened?
I'm not sure. Can they still not get in? Are they for sure eliminated?
They can still get in.
I guess there is a chance, but we had like a road just
Paved for
Just
you.
was
Yeah.
Jackie, just like fucking right in. Like here it is. This team's trying to lose to get old Connor Bernard, and then the next team you're not going to lose to, and then bang, we're in. Sidney Crosby's dancing. Last night, basically shut the door. We can still get in, but did you sleep sounder? And you think that's how everybody in the NHL was last night, Jack?
I slept like shit last night. My dog was snoring in my ear. So Penguins had nothing, had no influence on me sleeping. But honestly, sometimes it's tough in those games. Like last year, we were in a similar situation where it was the last week of the season. We needed to win we had a lot of must-win games. And, the other team, they have no pressure. And, I'd probably say that I don't think any team purposely goes out there and tries to lose, and I'm sure Chicago was trying to win like they are every other night, and there's a lot of pressure on Pittsburgh to win that game. Those are tough games. We lost to a few teams last year down the stretch that were not playoff teams, and they were a crucial time of the year, and so those games are never easy.
Hockey's a grueling sport, man, and obviously the players can't go out and tank. That is just something that is said about teams. I was on a team that they were actually chanting like "suck for luck" in our stadium. And it was like, yo, this guy's trying to just earn a paycheck. This guy's trying to get a new contract. This guy might be in his last year in the league. I don't think players can do it. Coaches obviously won't do it. But there's other mindsets in every league. So I appreciate you bringing that to the fact that, yeah, those players last night.
It was tough.
Yeah, they went out there. They saw the great top 4 player of all time.
Well, it's supposed to be. But
Sidney Crosby playing.
Top 5 for sure.
Okay, top 5 for sure?
Yeah, I would say Sid's resume and what he's done, I would for sure put him in the top 5 ever.
Okay, I love that. So let's talk about one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan. He's played for so long. He was dropped into the spotlight as well, just like you, number 2 overall pick, American-born guy. The grueling schedule of hockey, plus like the pressure of performing and just the travel. How, is this just your whole life? You guys are kind of in process of training to become a professional hockey player? Sounds like you guys have the worst schedule out of all the sports professionally. Is that a right way to look at it, or is it just normal for you?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? When I was in Buffalo, playing in the East was definitely a bit easier in terms of travel. Like, you play 82 games, and Vegas, our travel this year has been pretty tough, especially the fact that a lot of times, we're playing teams, some teams in our division, you got to change time zones. Some flights are pretty long. When you're in the East Coast, it's for the most part every flight's pretty quick, and you're home around midnight or 1 a.m, and the travel's a lot easier. But the last month and a half for us has been pretty crazy. It seems like we've been flying across the country, coming back, playing a game here, and then going back, and so it's just been kind of it's been a hectic schedule for sure. But I'm sure every team goes through it, and I'm sure everyone's saying the same thing at this point in the season that they had a brutal schedule at some point during the year.
No, maybe amongst yourselves, but you guys never complain ever about it. Like, that is part of the hockey community. Like, yeah, lucky to be here. You know, like, just like that's kind of always seems like the players mentions publicly. Like, yeah, just very thankful, very grateful to be in the NHL, very lucky to be in the NHL. Obviously, business happens and people get traded and there's like some nasty side to it all. But you guys all handle it very positively, which is interesting for me because your off seasons aren't really off seasons either, right? Like, I've seen a lot of videos, like at least the ones that have gotten out, not a lot of content cracking out of the NHL world, it seems like. Very tight-lipped community over there. But as I continue to learn about like off seasons, the legs, like you guys are just doing full sprints for like a minute and a half, and then you're on the bench breathing for 45 seconds. You're just doing cardio sessions basically for a sport. Like that is and it's the hardest fucking thing to do. And then you're doing it, how many games in a season?
We play 82.
82 times.
Damn.
While traveling in the middle of it. And then off season, you have to just be training the entire time. It's like full year commitment. You guys never bitch about anything. Are you told at the beginning, like, hey, you're a hockey player, you're tough, it's a hard sport, shut the fuck up? Is that just kind of a part of the community, you think?
No, I think maybe publicly. I think it's probably known not to complain to the media or put it out there for anyone to use. But you know, we do a lot of complaining to each other. And
okay, you're humans.
You get in the locker room or get on the plane or you're hanging out in the change room after a game or whatever, and everyone's complaining the whole time. So. But we keep it. I guess we keep it under wraps a little better than ourselves.
I think it's incredibly classy the way you guys operate. Like you rarely hear shit talk. That's why when like a Marchand rolls into the league and he's a complete pest and he's licking people's faces, it's like, okay, so hockey does have like that type of shit happening. You guys very open. Now you're an American-born player in the NHL. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We appreciate the hell out of you. I've hypothesized about this a little bit. Second overall pick, too, as an American.
Yeah, no big deal.
7 years of Buffalo, had to see. Traded to Vegas, becomes an immediate fan favorite. I mean, we're talking about a fucking dog here who's an American. We appreciate the hell. Sweet hair, too. I mean, the fucking hair.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, really sweet lettuce, dude. Look at that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, it's like a Dallas Shag a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a little Dallas Shag there a little bit. You go in there. But do you think with the way like the world is now, do you think we're going to continue to have a lot of Americans playing hockey growing up? Because aren't those like 5 a.m. skate sessions whenever you're a kid and like rink time, obviously very difficult. That's not an easy sport. Everybody talks about like wrestling being hard, and it certainly is as a teenager. Hockey is fucking miserable. The hours, the conditioning, the commitment, the toughness it takes. Do you think we'll continue to have American hockey players representing? And I want to say with how soft we've gotten, but with the other options of things that you could potentially do if you're athletic and as a kid, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always going to have kids that grow up and they want to play hockey. And I feel like you're always going to have kids that grow up and they want to play football. I mean, I have younger cousins and family members and, they're, I guess younger generation and they love those sports. They want contact. They want the competitiveness. And I mean, hockey's a unique game because, it takes a lot of commitment from the people around you in order to get to where you want to go. Driving to the rink every morning. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, right? Ice time's expensive, equipment's expensive. Playing on some of these teams like Vegas, for instance. I mean, it's a newer hockey community. The people are crazy for hockey here. Like, I have a few friends that work in the youth hockey programs here, and they're doing private lessons with 8-9-year-olds at 6 a.m. before a kid goes to school. So it's like people love it, and people want to see their children and their kids have success, and I love it. I mean, I think it's great. It's great for hockey. You're seeing a lot more Americans. I think the percentage of Americans in the NHL is continuing to grow, which is
What
great.
is it? What is that? What would that be?
I don't know what it would be off the top of my head.
Guesstimation.
I don't know. Obviously, it's been a Canadian-driven sport for a while, right? And we have
less than half, less than 30%. What do you think?
Huh? I would say maybe 25.
Okay.
25%, and then you got to think, right? We have so many people so many guys in the league are from Sweden and Finland and Russia and Czech Republic and, overseas. And so obviously it's like you said, I think it's going to continue to grow and get bigger. And the NHL does a great job of helping, programs like the, National Development Program in Ann Arbor, which is where I came through. And, it's a great way for Americans to, I guess, get to the next level.
Okay, so we had a couple kids at our high school that went on to play a little junior B and then go elsewhere. We're from the East Hills of Pittsburgh. I think one had to go to like Minnesota. I think another one had to go. You just talked about up through Ann Arbor, Michigan. Did you graduate high school in Boston? When did you go over there?
So I moved out of Boston after my freshman year of high school, did 2 years of high school in Ann Arbor, and then went to BU.
Okay, so you're living with a family over in Ann Arbor?
Yeah, you live with a billet family, and the program I went to, it's USA Hockey Run program, and it's a 2-year program, national development. It's like the best 16 and 17-year-olds, and you kind of just train together every day, play internationally, play junior in the Midwest, and there's been a lot of really good players that have come through there.
So soccer has this similar thing. I kind of snooped around with potentially going and playing somewhere. And it's like your life is wake up in the morning, there was like a cardio sesh. Then there's like, okay, we're going to do a little bit of school here, a little bit of film. Then we got practice. Then we got like maybe a little bit of school. Then we got an afternoon workout. And then like at night we got film. And then that was just like, that was life pretty much. Is that what it is there for you in the hockey world? Or was there a little bit more human interaction?
I think now, I think after COVID, COVID changed so much. And after COVID, I think a little bit of their routine changed. Like when I was there, I went to a public high school. I got up in the morning, drove to school with all the other guys that were at the program, went to school till 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then you go over the rink and you're at the rink from 2 to say 7 or 6. So you're there for a while, but when you're done there, you go home and eat dinner, go to bed, and do it again every day. So they're definitely long days. But I think now at that program, it's all online school, so I think they wake up and go to the rink in the morning, and I would imagine their schedule is probably a little closer to the one you just said. Going
back to Boston, good times whenever you go back to college there. I guess you were a junior technically, right? Because you said after freshman year, 2 years, then you were at Boston. So you're 17 years old at Boston University, back at home. Was there any distractions?
Yeah.
Any distractions there, or you kind of kept it all tight and on board there?
There might have been a few distractions.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I wouldn't have been, that would have been tough. 2 years away. Listen how he was living, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just go to school, we kind of do our thing, go to the rink 5 days. You're living a college life as a sophomore pretty much in high school, and then having to do it all, then go back home, getting dropped back in your town. And Boston's huge hockey school, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like a big...
It is, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of college hockey programs right around where I went to school at BU, and college hockey is a big thing in New England.
And then you get drafted to Buffalo 1 year later?
Yeah, after my freshman year, I got drafted, made a decision to go to Buffalo, and signed there and started my NHL career.
19 years old?
I was 18 when I started. I turned 19 about a month into my first year.
Hey, dude, it's not easy to handle all that shit. So congratulations on that.
God damn. Hell yeah.
As a 19-year-old, bro, I would have fucked all that up. All of it. So many of those things up. Send me to Ann Arbor to go to high school. Yeah, right, bro. I'm not coming. I would have, like, so much discipline and commitment. Very impressive stuff. You go for 7 years at Buffalo, and then obviously very public ending there. And last season, whenever you get back to Buffalo, the whole scene happens afterwards. Now that we're a little bit more removed from it, you look back, obviously great times in Buffalo. I assume you view yourself as becoming an adult in that city, and anything you kind of take away from there into Vegas with you?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great experience. Obviously, it ended a little messy there in Buffalo, and sometimes that's just the nature of the business. I mean, at the end of the day, you've been through it. It's professional sports is like any other business. You have disputes and disagreements, and you agree to move on, and that's it. And I think that was sort of the situation. And I think I had a great experience in Buffalo. It was a place that a lot of firsts for me. I played my first game, scored my first goal. Met a lot of great people in the organization, on the team. Built a lot of great friendships. So I wouldn't have changed it. If I could, maybe I probably would have had us do a little better record wise, and maybe it.
100% all your fault there. So way to take that on your shoulders.
At the end of the day, it was a great experience. I was playing hockey. I was living my lifelong dream of playing in the NHL, and they took great care of me, and I wouldn't have changed it. So and then things happened, and I get moved to Vegas, and I couldn't be more happy with the way that things turned out. It was change that needed to happen, and I end up landing in a place like Vegas, and in an organization like the one we have here. It's top notch from the equipment guy, the ownership. Every single person that works here is incredible, and it's an incredible fan base and a great place to live. So I feel really fortunate and lucky to have ended up in a place like this.
That's great to hear. And Vegas has gone all in. The start, obviously, they have that incredible first couple seasons where they go to the playoffs and expansion draft and everything like that. But people were watching just because, like, the pre-game shows. It was like Vegas bought in to the Golden Knights entirely, and I think it became a thing. There was a man who's been a diehard fan literally since day one. He might be your largest fan out of the New England area. I'd assume outside of the New England area with family and everything like that. Ty Schmidt, since day one of the Golden Knights' existence, has been a massive fan. Got a lot of love for you too, Jackie Aces. Go ahead, Ty.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Ty.
Hell yeah.
I saw it.
Well, I mean, listen, when we traded for you, I'll tell you what, because like Pat said, I have been a diehard fan since inception. I'm from Iowa, so hockey, not a huge thing there, but, it's too hard not to buy into the Golden Knights. When we traded for you, it was like fucking Christmas morning for me. It really was. I was just so eager to watch you play. But obviously you're from the U.S., so you know about Vegas and everything. But for the longest time, it was always, hey, there can't be a professional sports team in Vegas, whether it be because of gambling and all the distractions. Being still like you're a young guy. Like, has that been difficult at all, living in Vegas and just knowing and granted, you're not just some fucking schlub, so it's like you're a star. You need to be able to perform. But has it been difficult at all going from Buffalo to living in, like the entertainment epicenter of the world? And also, got to ask, a lot of fans saw it yesterday. We're very excited. How jacked up are you to have Stoner back on the ice with you?
Yeah. I guess I'll answer the first question. Yeah, Vegas is Vegas. I think when you live here and you're here full time, it's a little different than when you come in here with your buddies for a bachelor party and 3 or 4 days and you're just you're blowing it out on the strip. But
good times though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what most people view Vegas as. It's I'm going to come in here for a work trip or a conference, and I'm not going to leave the strip. But I think for us living here, it's it's not like we're living on the strip. We live in an amazing community here at Summerlin, and
love that.
There are facilities out here, so you don't really need to go down the strip other than for games, and but it does offer so much. We have world-class restaurants and some incredible
Carrot Top,
of course.
Yeah.
Chris
Carrot
Angel,
Top is right down the road.
Coverfield.
Great weather, so it's just like I think that there's so many great things that Vegas has to offer in terms of living here, and I've really enjoyed it. It's I think it's an amazing place, and I think if you haven't really experienced it in that aspect, then I think you probably wouldn't understand the way that I think life goes. But it's just the way I think of it is like we have the strip, and a lot of the people that work on the strip live in Vegas, so it's just a community like anywhere else in a big city and or a big entertainment area, and but it's incredible because like you mentioned earlier, we have the those atmospheres at games are awesome, and just they do a great job with everything entertainment wise, and why wouldn't they? It is Las Vegas, and
Stoner is back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Stoney coming back. That's a huge, huge addition to our team, obviously our captain, and a guy that means so much to us on and off the ice. So in order to the ability that the chance that we might get him back here in the next however little bit.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really explain how much it means to our group, and I know how much it means to him with all the work that he's put in, and it's tough to deal with injuries in general, and for him to have to kind of revisit an injury that he thought he put behind him last summer. I give Stoney a ton of credit for the way that he's handled everything.
Stoney's back soon, you said?
I don't know exactly when he'll be back, but just to have him back on the ice and practicing and
gamesmanship, Pat.
Making that process closer.
Hey, Stoner's almost back. Stick taps for
Big
Stoner.
taps for Stoner.
My boy Tony.
Hey, did you guys play this game growing up? Obviously, a little knee hockey, yeah?
Of course, yeah, all the time.
You think you just beat everybody that maybe didn't play hockey in that game, or is that a sport that maybe we could catch up to you on because we did play a lot of it growing up?
No, I'm sure there's a closer playing field than you think.
How about ball hockey? You ever played deck hockey?
I was a big deck hockey player. I love deck hockey. Deck hockey's huge in PA, right?
Huge, yeah. Actually
Huge, yeah.
got a world champion ball hockey player here in the office in old Frankie Maralda, host of That's Hockey Talk. Fucking wicked clapper, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked clapper in that. That was a tough. The amount of just.
Oh my God.
You guys just beat the shit out of each other with the stick all the time. Do you just build up calluses on your wrists? How do we get through that?
Extra padding underneath the uniforms. But honestly, like you said, some of the bruises, like the shot blocking, the slashing, the cross checks, it adds up over the course of a year. But we have some guys on our team that have some outrageous shot blocking numbers. Like I think the NHL leader in shot blocks this year, Alec Martinez on our team. I feel like he has maybe 100 more shot blocks than anyone else in the NHL. Like he just
puts his face in there.
He just his face, any part of his body, he just wears the puck.
Why do you have all your teeth? Isn't that something you're not supposed to have? What's that? Those are fake?
No, they're real. Knock on wood. I took one.
Well, don't knock on your teeth.
I took a puck in the face earlier in the year. But thankfully it didn't hit any of my teeth.
You a fighter? You do any fighting? What do we do? Not a lot of fighting in the game anymore, right? That's because you guys are all soft?
No, there's still some fighting. And, I think there's still a place for it. I wouldn't consider myself a fighter.
You're not. Hey, need one here. Isn't that the hockey routine? We have Rupper, obviously.
Yeah, Chara.
Rupper on Hockey Talk, where Chara told him, hey, I need to. Will you please do me the honor of fighting me?
Yeah.
Need to fight him, right? That's something in your sport that's very real, right?
Yeah, I give the guys that do it, I have the utmost respect for them. It's not an easy job, and depending on how the game's going, if you need a momentum swing, there's times where you're just you ask a guy hey, listen, I need a fight, and I credit guys that do it, drop their gloves. It's a great part of the game.
Hey, I need a fight. Fuck, wasn't planning on it tonight. I guess for you, I guess we'll do anything here. Let's try to knock each other out. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Jackie, I'm also from Massachusetts. Shout out North Chelmsford. But I had a question similar to, kind of what Ty said. I understand, you love the Golden Knights. You love being in Vegas. But is there ever a thought, hey, maybe at some point I decide it's time to go back home just like you did when you were in Michigan. Put on the black and gold. Play for the hometown
Don't
team.
do it, Jackie.
I think you should. And also, if you don't want to answer that, is there a conversation about what's going on in Boston right now in the historic run and them having the most wins in the history of the NHL?
Since 2005?
Forever?
I had a little feeling that you were going to ask that with that Happy Gilmore jersey on.
Boom. Thank you.
I had a feeling that question was coming, but no, I'm really happy here. I think.
Hell yeah.
I think every kid probably at some point dreams of playing for their hometown team, but I can't look into the future. I love Vegas. This place is great. I'd love to play the rest of my career here and be be a golden night till I stop playing hockey. But you know, in terms of the Bruins and what they're doing this year, I think it's hard not to acknowledge it. And you know, a lot of my team, incredible that they've been able to break so many records and the season that they've had. You know, credit to them on all their successes. You know, it is pretty remarkable, and for my buddies that play on that team, you know, I'm happy for them.
You guys tight community, hockey players, or yeah, everybody kind of knows each other because everybody's kind of come up. Everybody knows who's going to be the NHL guys coming up, so you kind of know each other.
Well, I think, you know, as you get closer to the NHL, you know, you start. I think you know, just the crop I think gets smaller, and so, you know, a lot of those guys that you knew growing up and you know, maybe in university or in junior, and I feel like you just cross paths with so many guys, and you know, that's how I feel. I feel like I know someone on every team, and it is a pretty tight-knit community, and I think that's one of the best things about it.
Freshman year of high school, deciding to go to Ann Arbor to go into the hockey pipeline factory thing that USA is putting together up there. So you knew when you were in 8th grade you were going to be an NHLer?
No, honestly, I didn't. I think, you know, probably when I went to that national development program there, and you know, at the beginning of high school, I started to realize that it probably could be a possibility, but you never know. There's a lot of variables and a lot of things can happen. But
so are you?
know,
you're just fucking killing people in freshman year of high school up there in Massachusetts. How we're talking like 6 goals a game, 7 goals a game?
No, I didn't play high school. I played junior in Boston. But I went to my public high school and played junior my freshman year. So you know, caught a little heat at the high school because I wasn't playing for the local town team. But all my close buddies understood. But you know, the normal person at the school didn't understand why I wasn't playing for their high school team.
Just basic people everywhere.
Yep.
Okay, when you're 18 years old, you guys are going to be what? Oh, can't wait to buy cigs, especially up there in Massachusetts.
Bingo.
Can't wait to buy smokes. You know, I've been doing it for a long time. Now I'll do it here. He was worried, I'm going to get drafted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sorry.
I'm already going to be graduated college. Okay, I'm going to be done with college by the time you guys are seniors in high school. So just shut up. I'm not playing for the town team. I like that you had to do that. It's not an easy decision. I'm sure you could have had a much easier life if you would have just done that in school every day. But then you go to Ann Arbor and you say, oh, I'm going to be in the NHL.
I'm very good.
Oh, I'm going to be in the NHL. Pac-Man has the last question for you here, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, my question was, does any team come through there get like the Vegas flu with going out and doing different things? And can you smell that liquor on them on the ice?
Let's just say I've learned that the Vegas flu is a real thing, and you know, like playing here, you talk to guys after the game. Oh, what'd you do the last few days? You know, because sometimes scheduled you know, games are scheduled, and a team's been here for 3 or 4 days prior to our game. So you know, they've had a nice little trip, and you know, it works in our favor that we get them at the end of you know, a few long days on the strip playing cards and gambling and drinking, and but you know, it's also you know, sometimes you get the opposite. You get a team that's done that, but then they're playing guilty, so they're working even harder. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of guys that have you know, had guilty games here this season, and you know, we definitely know that going into games though, that and we hear it, you know, from other people if guys have been out or and what they've been doing.
You called them guilty games? That's hilarious, because I always called it like, oh, I'm hungover. If I do bad right now, they're going to call me a drunk, tell me I need that. I got to do good so I can continue to just go ahead and do this in the future. You call it in the NHL world, it's like, oh, I got a guilty game on you. Is that real?
Yeah, playing guilty. Maybe I had a couple too many beers the night before, and yeah, same thing like you said. You don't want to catch any heat, so you're working extra hard, and you're doing anything to help the team win that night.
God damn, he's flying around like, what's he? Oh, he's got
guilty game on
He's hammered still.
What he did last night. Hey, we appreciate you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. You get a hat trick on the way out of here for the rest of the season. Any of these games, we'll give $100,000 to a charity of your choice.
Wow. All right. Wow. I'm going to be shooting everything tomorrow night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I love it.
That's great. No, I appreciate that. Thanks so much for having me on the show. Big fan of the show. Big fan of yours, Pat. So thank you guys very much.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for taking the time in the middle of the season to chat with us. Hockey players don't normally do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Ace's Jack Eichel. Pac-Man's got no stick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, here, Pat. I don't want to break that.
That's not a
sign
bolt.
behind
That's not a
him.
bolt.
Hey, what do you think? He's going to catch it?
Okay. You didn't catch it.
You threw it a little short. You were scared.
Oh, well, so
You
what?
were scared.
So what?
This is like when you throw hey, one more time for Jackie Ace.
Yeah, Jackie.
Thank you, Jack. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.